What the... Okay, that was just funny. Just seeing... What? Alright, this is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. This is the finale of the first game. I'm nervous, I'm excited, and terrified. So let this chaos, and I'm calling it chaos because it is chaos, begin. Okay. Alright. February 25th, 9:47 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. This is the defendant lobby, alright, but there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? Does she just have a cell phone? In prison? Is that just a thing? Yeah, where is she? Is she being caught by the cops? Because technically that's running away? Or does Gan have something to do with it? I have many questions. Alright. And where's Emma, for that matter? It's almost as if something's been happening behind the scenes. Hi, Edgeworth. Hello, I'm doing good. Just was, finishing things up and, testing my, voice, since I'm gonna be voicing, you know, Diamond Gant. So my voice just it goes right into my throat. So I was getting myself some warm water that sadly gets mixed with stupid coffee grounds because I love sharing a coffee maker with my father because I get coffee grounds and everything. It's at least not the worst warm drink I've had. Alright. Edgeworth. Knowing you already figured it out. Who the owner of this 77777s? How many sevens is there? 7 sevens? 3, 6, 7? Yeah, there's 7 sevens. Okay. 7777777 ID number is, that is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Yeah, I wonder who it could possibly be. But yeah, I hope you are good too. But yeah, this will be, obviously, like it's been before, just doing some voice acting. Because I'm ready to get this case done. Looks like I'm not the only one who figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. I remember this one, it's remember this one, it's tough. Yeah, I will say, this is my first ever time ever playing this case. I know about all the other cases. This is the only case I only knew about Emma's sister. That's the only thing I knew about this case before I played it for the first time. This case for the first time. All the other ones I knew about. So it's been interesting and interesting twists and all the random stuff. Because I guess corruption in the justice system was in the first game to begin with, which is fascinating. But even if that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True, not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, right, and Chief Prosecutor Skye will be found guilty. But she didn't do it! I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. The truth? Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. See you in court, right? Poor Edgeworth. His voice has changed a lot through the progress of these things. This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. Woo woo! Here we go. February 25th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Oh no. Chief Gant. Oh, there you are. I was gonna be like, where are you? Oh, no, I'm not ready. Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, G, been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can't top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? The silence is horribly and really. Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Having heard what she mentions to say, she tends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. Did she threaten Emma's life? That's what I'm guessing, because Emma is not around. What is this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request, and I'll be finished. Well then, what's your request? Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. Huh? I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No, Lana. Oh, I'm guessing Lana is being, like, I think Emma's in danger. And I am worried. You can't. Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. But Lana... Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. Okay, Judge, this ain't normal. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficient proven it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. This can't be happening. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant... One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut? I wonder why he's getting pissed off. I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes? Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have had me be. Ugh, English. With this sudden confession from the defendant, he goes from British to not British to I don't know what it is. It's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal? Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. Oh, to whom? As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Sky. I request the court hears her testimony. The amount of subtle threats from Can is insane. Yeah, you can just tell he is threatening. That's the thing that's terrifying, is his subtle threats are terrifying because of how he presents himself. And the look in his eye is not helping either. Mr. Edgeworth, my goodness, I can't. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to I don't care what you think, Miss Sky. The exposure of the truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Very well, the court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gant? Worthy, you live to regret this. Mark my words. Miss Emma Sky, please take to the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. You don't say. Well, at least she's okay. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. My name is Emma Sky. The soundtrack reminds me a lot like Bowser. Well, yeah, because they kind of have the flaming hair and kind of that orange motif, so maybe that's what it is that's getting into what's making you reminded of Bowser. English is difficult. My name is Emma Sky. My occupation, I'm Lana's little sister and I want to be a scientific investigator. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct? Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Yes, it is, Judge. I promise you on my life it is. Yes, it most certainly is. Well, okay then. He sure gives in fast. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. Alright. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. 2 years ago. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me. But I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. It's a good thing you weren't harmed. I passed out. I don't remember much. That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. Wow, this is this judge sometimes. Aren't you so sweet? 2 years ago. Okay, well, we're gonna save, so we don't have to go through all this beginning stuff if I somehow do something wrong. Okay, cute. 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct?
Yeah, she was second in command under then Deputy Chief of Police Gant. My sister, she was the best detective ever.
Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Gant and Miss Sky used to be quite the pair. I believe they shared the same office.
That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day, too.
The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day.
Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work.
A man came running in and took me hostage. A man?
Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer.
Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right? Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. He then ran into Sky and Gant's office.
There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. Then when I saw him...
Neil Marshall rescued me. What was the prosecutor doing there? That day, there were two people present during Dark's questioning. Deputy Chief Diamond Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Almost forgot about Gant. Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony. I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after Dark.
When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was good as dead.
And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in?
I don't clearly remember what happened, but...
Well, I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. Can you... Hang on. Can you tell us about that?
Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark and then the lights went out.
The lights?
It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby.
So the electricity went out? Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. Then that suddenly flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind.
I see.
I told the detectives about what I saw then.
Detective?
Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case.
Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. Hear more. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago?
Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial.
And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw?
Yes, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. At the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture.
A picture? Yes, I think she mentioned that before. Well, story, have you heard enough? Ask about the picture. This picture with the witness drew, I believe it has a very important meaning. But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor.
I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost. We're gonna save. I know it's... Why do... Oh. It even has the number on the back of your attorney's badge. Ah, kinda cool. That's not what I meant to do. I want to do it this way. This one? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Mr. Edgeworth. This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet you would insist on denying its existence? Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may be, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold, this is the evidence list from the SL9 incident? Yes, sir, Bob. Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over. Turn it. Ah!
What is this?
That is it, Pose. Yes, what is that?
Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew.
So Goodman had it and kept it. Indeed, two men appear to be wrestling here. Well, Gant had it, but the point is that Goodman did have it. What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list. Huh? These lists, they're different from each other. What? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit to form one. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half the evidence in that case ever reached you. What? What? Which is not his fault. It's freaking... No, not his fault. How was he supposed to know about it? Order, order. But, Miss Sky, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list?
Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor.
That's the only paper he had?
Really?
Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Hang on, like, 1 second. Oh, it is so funny to watch just the moving around. It's like, hello. Alright. Time to continue. Your Honor. You're right, Mr. Wright. Your eyes are bulging from your head. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth. It's possible. Let's see. I guess that's yes. Is something wrong? Do you even have to ask? Oh, I love this. Sorry, Your Honor. There's indeed something drawn on the back of my list. Is that thing? The blue badge? Huh? Why that music? That's that thing! That's the thing that was dancing in the evidence room! Clearly, this act of evangelism is the work of a certain chief of detectives. I guess he was out of scrap paper. Evidence list. List of evidence in the SL9 incident. Half of this list was found in Gad's office. The music. They really want to use every little bit of that freaking music, and I want to see. Can I check? Yeah, that is weird. Huh. Okay, very well. Witness? Will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago?
Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor.
What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture. Emma's picture.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright all I could see were shadows.
It's a nice little song. It is, but within the context of the case, it's just kind of like, this is kind of creepy. This is just kind of creepy. It's music. It's a cute song, and I just think they wanted to use it as much as they could. But yeah, I like the song. It's just kind of creepy.
After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind. Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw. Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder prosecutor Neil Marshall. Defense may now begin its cross-examination. Okay. Let us continue. In this picture, 2 years ago. Did you draw this picture right after the incident?
I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. First, I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything.
During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Diamond Gant and Lotta Sky. 2 or 3 days later. That memory should still have been fresh in her mind. Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black? The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. So, at the time you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue?
No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor.
You were knocked to the floor?
The dark had a tight grip on me, but when Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. Turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed.
Poor Emma, I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed? I must have fainted. Alright. You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place?
No, I'm sorry.
The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further? What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. Well, we're taking turns now.
Anyway, this picture.
This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw?
Of course, this is the exact scene.
It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives? Are you insinuating we somehow manipulate her memory, Mr. Wright? No, of course not. I better watch out or he might find some way to cut my salary.
I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives.
Oh my gosh, everything. Go away. All the avocations.
So I don't think any one story would have influenced me.
Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture? Huh? Oh, well. That's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind, and yet there's clearly a contradiction here. This looks like a stick. And there's no window. Well, I don't know where to start. Flashlights after that I must have painted this picture shows that I'm assuming this is the thing. So now oh, these are just the files about them. Can I... Nope, I can't move anything there. His autopsy. Time and date and time of death, February 19th, between 7 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Cause of death, single stab wound pierced heart and slash lung. Suspect died from blood loss in under 10 minutes. Weapon found in wound was missing tip. I don't... Piece of cloth found again, safe. There's Emma's prints. I don't think this is important right now. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instance. But there's something... Wound found, missing tip. Was found in the victim's body belonged to murderer Joe Dark. If I remember, it is the drawing. It was the drawing. Nope. Nope. Okay. Nope. Alright. 2 years ago, flashing, finding that shows the exact... Let me listen. What does it say again? Are you sure? Of course. Influence from the detectives. 2 or 3 days. This was before I heard anything from the detectives. Is there anything that's bothering you about this picture? That's strange. She claims this exact scene that was in Vermont, and yet there's clearly a contradiction here. Like his hand, maybe? Like it's his hand? Because his hand's covering his heart, so I don't know how he would hit. Must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in this instant. Maybe evidence room, that's important. What is that? As online instant, extremely thin rubber glove. Okay, it's not that. Shelf-stable jar. Video camera, killings, photo. I love when these things don't make sense. Kind of like, huh? Alright, let me just eggs, attorney, wrestling? Yes it is. Case, trial farmer, what am, I need a hint. Tiny. Now I remember it was the drawing one, the first line, I think. Yeah, it might be, I'm just... Present the answer. Okay, that was the first thing. Ooh, I think. Yeah, it's not impossible. Fourth line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it is the fourth line. Okay, so I will say, I don't blame you for thinking that it was this thing. It's, so, apparently, it is this thing, and it is this. I guess it'll tell us why, but it's apparently this. Sometimes this game. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction.
What? But I still remember it just like it was yesterday.
Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report? I'm assuming, like I said, that it's his hand. I think it's this part here. I don't see what's so strange about that. Because I thought it was the hand. I guess I'm wrong. Fine, right? Why are you such a butt? Sometimes, I swear. Okay, present this. So it's not his hand. He died from his heart/lung. Does it say, like, which side? Just his heart/lung. And I thought, oh, well, it's his hand is in the way. Single stab wound. It's the knife. Huh. Oh, because it's chipped. That makes sense. That makes sense, because it's chipped. It's supposed to be chipped. The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken. Even I don't have to look closely to see that, right?
But, Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken, too.
If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken in the victim's body.
It was the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer.
But yeah, thank you. Because obviously I was struggling for a minute, being like, what the heck do you want me to prove here? Sometimes this game gets very weird with the evidence at once. I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma. And where, pray tell, can you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. Where does it say that? If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken. Oh, what's the meaning of this? Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there. That's right, but what does this mean? The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The other possible explanation is the witness memory is mistaken. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? But a little something called falsified evidence? You're treading on thin ice, right? All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility. No. Order. Are you saying the investigation was really corrupt? Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the night of the murder. We're doing 2 crimes in 1 case. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Diamond Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there's a lie.
I'm not lying. The man was really holding up a broken knife.
If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife. What are the chances there being 2 broken knives? By someone purposely making one? Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's. Could there have been one? Yes, there is! There is another one. We have it, don't we? If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by simple observational error.
Mr. Wright!
In that instance, Emma really did see a broken knife. I assume, then, that you have some information about this other broken knife. If so, please feel free to enlighten us. The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. I'm going to save before the game puts me through another whole bit of dialogue. I think we saved. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. Do we have another one? Oh, is it this? Okay, it's correct. If anything's broken here, it's you. Huh? I'm sure this must all be very amusing to you, Mr. Wright. Okay, fine. It was the only one I could think of. Fine. Okay. Take a look. Here's the real murder weapon. This. Okay, it's not that one either. Fine. I don't know what's the broken knife. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. It's not this. Past gauge brought back by Gant's request. Is it the screwdriver? Cause that's the only option. Is it this? Nope. It's not that one. Very anticlimactic. Look at it, found the victim on Joe Dark. You've got to be Something, but what? This one? Okay. I got it! Okay, the answer... So I think this is what you were talking about. This is probably where it's supposed to be. Okay, the answer lies in the past, 2 years in the past. Right here in this picture. This is a picture of the award ceremony. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the broken motor weapon. Knows the award Prosecutor Marshall's holding. Share with everyone. Yep.
That's a broken knife!
And as we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award. So I had the correct thing. It just was the picture. Order. Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As a reward, he was given this broken shield and a knife. And when he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation. But that can't be. Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Because if the King of Prosecutors Award knife was the motor weapon, then the motor and the victim should be reversed. What do you mean? I mean... the man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oh. Oh, that's kind of important. But the prosecutor was the one who actually died. That's true. What's going on here? It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions.
Wait, I remember now. I remember everything.
Witness?
Mr. Edgeworth.
What is it?
Could you show me your evidence list again, please?
His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back?
I knew it! This picture! I'm the one who drew it!
What? You drew that?
That's right! The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture!
The music is back!
All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness testimony. Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Skye?
Yes, Your Honor.
First the knife mix-up, and now the blue badger? This should be interesting. You don't say. This poor badger has been through so much bullcrap. His poor legacy. Emma's recollection. I'm drinking some water. Holy tamales! Alright.
When I saw that man raised his knife, I panicked and rushed towards both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger.
He's just there?
He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
Huh? This is certainly most unusual. Okay. Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year. That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago. Yes, well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. Oh, wow. Hi, Lana. You are panicked. Stop, please, don't pursue this any further. Lana? What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair. But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that? Chief Prosecutor Skye, you've already come this far. It's too late to turn back. Silence. The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant. Bye, Lana. Please sit in your seat. It seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter. You don't say, because Lana's freaking up here. Okay, Emma's recollection. Okay. When you say that man, I assume you refer to Joe Dark?
Yes, at least I think it was him.
You think?
All I could really see were shadows.
The power outage that immediately preceded the incident is also documented in the prosecutor's office report. So then you panic and rush towards both of them. Why would you do something so dangerous?
What else could I have done? I was about to stab Mr. Marshall.
She seems convinced that Dark was the one holding the knife. But as we've just theorized, she's really trying to blame herself. Well, yeah, because obviously something is being held against her, so we're getting close to the core of the matter. What it is, we don't know yet, but something is there, and we're hitting, like, the cusp of what's there. So she doesn't want it to be revealed, so that tells us that we need to keep going. Otherwise, this case is never gonna get solved. Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife.
Well, I don't know that at the time. When that dark guy knocked me down, all I could think was, I've got to help that other person.
I think I knocked away the man with the knife. What do you mean, you think?
It all happened so fast. I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did, it's all kind of a blur.
Miss Guy was almost killed before she was witness to a murder about to take place. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, a little disorientation is only natural.
I saw the man about to stab the other person who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife.
What you did was very brave, young girl. So then what happened next? Flash and lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. I'm gonna drink some more water. Are you sure about this?
Of course, see, I even drew a picture of him here.
But it was the chief of detectives who thought up this righteous beast. And that was just this year. The blue badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable.
I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him before, somewhere. Now I finally remember.
Oh, brother, just when you thought this thing had caused enough commotion. Tell us, where in this room did you see him dancing?
He wasn't in the room.
Alright. His shadow? So you mean... Excuse me. You didn't actually see his face, with its winning smile and all?
That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns.
Creepy horns. This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken. That may be. But what is important is that what caused her to think she saw what she did. Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation. If so, then, by all means, please tell us what this shadow really means. What was it Emma saw when that lightning flashed? Who is this blue badger, really?
We're gonna say, I think I have a guess, but I'm not sure.
Then I just might know. The blue badger hadn't even been dreamt of when Emma drew this picture. Yet she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on that fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the blue badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room.
Mr. Wright!
In this room, very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the witness saw in that instant? Please show us this mysterious blue badger lookalike. Is it this? That is the only thing I can think of that looks like the blue badger. Yay, I got it! We finally got to use the stupid vase! The mysterious blue badger was in fact this. But that's... what exactly is that? Good question. I believe it's some sort of jar. Yes.
But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger.
Indeed it doesn't. As it stands now, this is just a plain jar. However, what if it were to change our viewpoint? Our viewpoint? I'm gonna show them that the correct angle to look at this from. Where are we? Q. Up! I didn't mean to hit E! The jar. Yes, the jar. The frickin' jar. It's like, yes, this is the jar. It's so... Of all the things, it's important. Okay, it's Shadow. Yes, I'm going to fix it, because I hit E. I thought I could move it. Alright, give me the stupid jar. Alright, yes, blah 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 blah. Alright, blah viewpoint. Okay, rotate Q and R. And then you got H. I don't know what. It's like, what looks like the blue badger? Like that? So what is it? H? N? You know, the handles face you. I think... this thing. This is the closest I can get. Kind of? Where's the... Don't hit E. Do not hit E. Kind of like that. Kind of looks like it. No, fine, you mother frickin' trucker. Blah, blah. Okay, it looks like this. Fine. So it's like a weird angle. Freaking weird, like... I gotta bend and move this thing around, though. Because it really does look that way if you move it around. Small end has to be seen. Yeah, what does this badger look like? Give me this percent. Blah, blah, blah. Now we're just gonna save. Yep, put that back. We're gonna save right here. Then we're gonna go back. So it looks... This thing is so wonky. Like, what the frick? Like... Okay, we're gonna... What is it? H and N. And there's like B. And M. This thing. Okay, Q. Like There, got, almost got it. It's a bit weird and annoying. Come on. Come on. Okay, we're gonna... What is it? It's not E. It's R. Haha. I almost got it. There we go. Like that. If you say it's wrong, game, I'm going to be pissed. It's finicky. Alright, fine. I'm gonna look at this stupid picture, and I'm gonna look at it and be like, okay, so it's like this weird, so it's gotta be like completely straight in the middle. Okay, fine. And we're gonna Q... Frickin'... Okay, let's try it. Maybe like a... Like this? Like that? And frickin' like... Excuse me, sorry. Looking at this image in comparison to mine, and I'm like... Huh. This is about as close as I can possibly get. I don't know what you want from me. Game. How about now? Game. What do you want? Freaking... This stupid... jar. Hinges on the defense's drawing, blah 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 blah. Edward, I like you as a character, but man, are you annoying. Okay, it's... Okay. It's this side, apparently. Oh, I hit the button. Eesh. I am so sorry. It's because it's making me use Q and R. Okay, like, so H... N... R... Okay, we need to go this way. Oh, come on! You stupid, annoying... Like, that? Because it's got the paint. It looks so wonky! How much more? Is that good? Are we good? I have it facing the red direction. Please. Okay, fine, we're gonna do this, because it's actually gonna drive me insane. Ace Attorney. Rise from ashes. Jar position. This is how we're gonna type it. The position is right. It's the small end that goes down a little. It's so annoying. It's so picky. It's so picky. Alright. Stupid jar. Alright, now we're gonna like this. R, and then pull. Like that? Like, I don't know how much more they want from me. It's like, how much more? Like, this jar. Like, this looks like the Blue Badger to me. Like, just from this position. Yeesh. Like that? The business is right. It's the small end that has to go down a little. Okay. This... maybe? This game. This game. I love this series, but man, am I driven insane. Solution, can I just... okay, shush. Let me just see. Okay, now I have a reference that I can use to frickin' do this. So if I'm not replying right away to comments, you know, alright, let me see this. Q, no, R, K, pull, Q, pull. So it's like right here. Get this. It's gonna be a little lower. Like that. Okay, this looks as close as it's gonna get. Lordy, this thing. Okay, fine. I'm going to see how this person exactly does it because I'm going to lose my mind. Holy frick. Alright. Too many things on screen for my brain. Okay, blah blah. How do we change our viewpoint? Okay, we're gonna change our viewpoint. We're back here. Alright, now I'm gonna look at this. Okay, so they... nope. Ah! I didn't mean to hit this. Why did they make it the E button? Why did they make it the E button? I have many questions. Okay. It's... is it H? No. E. It's B. So if I go... no. M. I love I'm doing a point by point to wonder what the frick do they want from me. Now if we Q. Alright. It's so stupid. Like, how much... is that low enough? I'm going to lose my mind. This is so ridiculous. I have never, ever dealt with something so picky in my life. Like, even if this was like on the DS, what are you on about? Alright, H, B, we're just gonna go okay, N, H does this, N does this, B does this, M does this. Okay, so then Q and R fix the positioning a little bit. Alright. That's as straight on as we're gonna get. How about... this. Okay. One of these things has to give here. Alright, it's... Okay. And how about that? Is that good? Is that good enough? Is this good enough? This game, I love this game series. But why are you so picky? Like, do I need like a photo perfect image? Like, come on. You gotta give like a tiny bit here. Then N pulls this down. It's the smaller that is. Like that won't work, that won't work, this won't work. How about this? This game. The bottom jar, the small side, has to become the top ball on the badger's head. The two handles go on either side. The top hole on the bigger end should be pointing downwards towards you and downwards. If you see the resemblance, present it to the court. The jar is the worst part. You don't say. You don't say. We're an hour and 13 minutes in, and we've probably spent a good about 10 minutes about the stupid jar. I'm gonna drink more water. Excuse me. Oh, I hit it again. Lordy. Am I gonna have to go? Is there a way I can configure? I can't configure anything. Great. If I could configure, I would take it off E. Because I think I might actually blow a blood vessel. Okay. This is as perfect of a shape. Maybe M? Like there, and then down. It's probably too high. Maybe this, and maybe like the smallest, nope, like that. I think. I'm so scared. Right. Okay, it's slightly off, and I don't know how to fix it. So, maybe it's because it's slightly off kilter. Okay, right there. H, nope, frick. N. And then R does this. Like this? I did it! I'm free! I'm free from the jar! We're free! Why? Oh, I've won the case. I've already won. Go home, everybody. We can go home now. I got the jar fixed. Okay, well, is this a miracle or what? It looks just like him. No one could possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the Blue Badger. Okay, please get rid of this music. No, it can't be. I'm going to, like, throw the blue badger out a window. No, not the blue badger. I'm going to throw that jar out the window. Order, order. The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious blue badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this. Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point? What do you mean? So, the blue badger thing was actually just a joke. That doesn't change a thing. Yes, it does. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeruff. Let me just move that. There we go. You see, this changes everything. Indeed, very well done. Please tell us. What difference now that we know that the witness saw this jar? The location, the murder weapon, the murderer. What difference now that we know the witness saw the jar? The murder weapon? I'm gonna say the murder weapon. Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. At the very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright. Well, yes, well knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where? The location of the jar is shown in the picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Diamond Gant. Let us finish! But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself. Yes, and it is that these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room in Chief Gant's office. Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Diamond Gant's office to Lana Sky's office? Yes. Why would he do that? There's no reason. Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason. You know what that reason was, Mr. Wright? I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. Yeah, I kinda know, because I looked at the guide to try to figure out how to do the stupid jar, and it tells me a little bit, and it's kinda like, oh. Can't you just look at a pic of what the jar is supposed to look like? I don't know how far behind you are. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know, you might be further behind, so maybe that's what it is. But, yeah, I got a picture of the jar. I got to see it. And after a while, I figured it out. So, it's definitely interesting. Too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. The next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying? That would have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf that the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit? Ah! The suit of armor holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword. Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy. No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking. Yes. There's another possibility of what actually transpired in that room. Another possibility? So this was to protect Emma. Of course, the perpetrator would have no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I can go through with this. Mr. Wright, what's the matter? If the events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Sky knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oh. Poor Emma.
You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? No!
I think that's why she passed out the first time. I've never imagined her testimony would lead to this. So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented. What are you saying? I'm sorry, Miss Skye, but given the circumstances, Joe Doc murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her? Imagine that, coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was keeping anyone finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it? I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. I hope to have everyone believe your if you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall? Evidence? To bet you don't. Yes, it would be difficult to prove this with evidence. We don't have evidence. Then we'll have to rely on the testimony. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. We certainly can't get dead people to testify, you don't say. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. Touché, Miss Skye. Of course. That only leaves us one possibility. You mean there's still another possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? I mean the possibility that the victim had left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. One man or another. That's impossible. Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist? I'm guessing so. I don't know. I've got to think back to the court record. Grandmother's name that the victim may have left behind is in the evidence. This message from the deceased is already in our possession. Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer? Do not be mistaken, Miss Skye. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing that we seek. The truth. No matter how painful it may be. Well, the thing is that it's not like it was a purposeful thing that she did. And that's something that should be stated. Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys the message from the deceased. Is it this stupid face? This is the message left by the deceased. This is that blue badger from before, right? Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name? If that thing could, I'm sure it would. Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. A message is left here on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar. I see it, and I don't like what I see. It looks like someone wiped the blood away. Yes, but notice, for some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away. Yes, there's a line here drawn in blood. So what you're saying is these dots were once lines. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed. Precisely so, all we need to do is connect these points. The victim's message will become apparent. No. Boy, oh boy. Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us? Your Honor, believe the bloodstains reveal to us the answer. I've got to connect these dots to make letters. There's only one thing the victim would have written given the circumstances. His murderer's name. Oh my, like, do I? Ah! Huh. Whee! Go there. Now. Okay, E. It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I've never thought it would turn out like this. Emma. So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Of all people, she may have not meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Skye. Frick. See, Worthy, can't say I didn't warn you. I don't like you. Chief Gant, do you understand the implications of what you've done? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in that case, were you not? Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Okay, he wasn't innocent. Don't even start with that. Joe Dark was not innocent. For the crime that he was sentenced to death for? No. He actually was innocent in that case. But you're not gonna just ignore all of the freaking past murders and lives that he took? Excuse you? Who are you to say that? Yeah, it's not good. But don't act like he was the most innocent man on the planet and did not a thing wrong. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable. See? I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know we are defenders of justice? What? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Yeah, it's not. But I'm going to pull up the court record right now. I'm going to look at this. Is it? Where is it? Is it here? Oh, back this way. Nope, it's right here. One, two, three, four, 5. He killed 5 people. 5! You're just saying, oh, that's nothing. What are you on about? Are you saying, oh, those were accidents as well type bullcrap here? Get out of here. Get out of here with your bullcrap. Even if there wasn't any cover-up before, evidence forgery, ultimately the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone might say, Me say, the fact cannot be denied. Okay, can everyone shut up? What's going on at the prosecutor's office?
They may have been sent an innocent man to his death. How can he just stand there like it wasn't his fault?
Order, order, order. Order! We need to get him a megaphone. The gavel's pounding fell on his deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. I don't blame the judge, because there's no way you could friggin' just do trial in these conditions. Yes, we're on the final thing. Final part of the trial. Woo! February 25th, 12:06, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Okay, so it wasn't too long of recess. Sorry, Edgeworth. Didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. It was my problem, not yours. Hope not interrupted anything, pals. Yes. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. It's okay. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal. Make a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it all off, you come here. I've seen happier people at funerals. I take it Lana's having you run errands again. Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give you this if there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law. Why is there a ducky on there? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so.
You could at least study some evidence law, really.
Please tell me Emma is just where she can just... It's a lot. She really shouldn't blame herself. The chief prosecutor also wanted us to give you a message. Hang on. Alright. A message? She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book. Him. Guess I'll need to give this book a thorough reading. Evidence from Miss Sky explains the true rules of evidence. Frickin' my arm hurts. Doesn't look like the book. That book do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, Detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why am I still sitting in the prosecutor's seat, despite all these allegations being thrown at me? Mr. Edgeworth! The real trial today hasn't begun yet. What else is there left to do? I'm Yogi Bear, apparently. I didn't know I could do that. Your credibility's been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Skies found out she was unwittingly caused a man's death, and now you're telling me you want to do more? You gotta be kidding me, pal. You're missing the point, Detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. What? And we're going to expose him. No matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. Finally! Okay, 12:52, District Court, courtroom number 9. Alright. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor? The inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls for the witness, but, this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have, struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses? I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking and... Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call for all further witnesses. What? But there's no proceeding for what you're proposing. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? I agree. Unbelievable. Being Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Then it's settled. The defense may now call forth the next witness. Mr. Wright, you do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, oh joy, I need to save, because I don't know who I need to call. This trial is as good as over. Defense calls. The time has finally come to bring out the real murderer. Okay, so we're just bringing him out. Okay, boop. Diamond Gant. The defense calls Diamond Gant to the stand. Diamond Gant? What does he have to do with anything? As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Ha ha ha! Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? Bingo! True. Alright. Bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand. Oh boy. Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this? Some type of practical... What is this? Some type of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. So, you want me to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. Gant. Fine. My name is Diamond Gant. I'm the acting chief of police. Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto, what's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. Oh, you mean the time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? You say it so nonchalantly. What the frick is wrong with you? Personally, I think it's been pretty clear already. There's still some things unaccounted for. Oh, like what? Like the role you played in all of this. Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. How about both? You're aware of the course that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at its disposal? Weapons? Sure, take my testimony for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well, the witness may now begin his testimony. Okay, SL9 incident. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. The powwow didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Is that when Dark was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. Can I not see this again? When Emma was sent Neil flying, it seemed Dark bumped his head. I see, everything seems pretty clear-cut. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, Then I better hit him hard and fast. Eesh. By the way, I find it stupid. Why can he refuse to testify? What the frick? Why? Okay. Alright. As I recall, a ceremony was held at the police department that day. Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic. After winning this award, Neil was all fired up too. That's probably what spooked Doc and made him run away like that. Was the defendant, Lana Skiles, present in the room? I don't quite remember. At the very least, she wasn't there when Doc went for it. Long story short, we slipped up, the power went out. I'll leave it. Okay, so the two of you ran immediately after him, right? That's right, but Doc made it into the elevator first. So Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. Guess you could say he got lucky. What's this about a power outage? Oh, that. The elevator stopped all of a sudden and I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocking as Neil was when that knife went through his heart, though. You weren't frickin' sadistic. What the frick? That's not funny. I found Lana there. Could you tell us what you saw? It was a shocking sight. Neil and the serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together. Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor? Yes, apparently he hit his head and was knocked out. Oh. Next to him were those two poor girls, Lana and Emma. Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. How could you know that? Because of the victim's body. It's already been moved. So that means you found the body near Lana's desk. That's right. I think you said earlier. It was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor. Yes. Diamond Gant really destroys my voice. Hello, you made it just in time for the rest of this frickin' court case. We're in the last half of it. Yes. Anyway, as you can see, it had nothing to do with this forgery. Excuse me, sorry. So you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you had arrived at your office? That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt. But moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable no matter what the circumstances. Is that how it really went down? Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at anything, you better off staring at the court record. Worthy, always the smooth talker. But which piece of evidence ties Gant to the forgery? Lana did admit to forging the evidence, but that can't be the whole truth. Somehow I've got to link Gant to the incident. That's all you give me? Seems he had nothing to do with the forgery, so we're gonna save. And I think it's this statement. Alright. Alright, blah 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 blah. As you're gonna say, have nothing to do with the forgery. Percent? Oh, let me look at this check. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Okay, Then Chief can't save evidence for something, but what? Woo-hoo! Got it! I got it! Woohoo! Woohoo! We got it! Alright. Alright. If you really had nothing to do with the forgery, then how do you explain this? What's that? And what's that on it? A hamper? Chief Gant, your explanation, please. Oh no. I don't know. You tell me, son. Huh? My dear Wright-o, don't you know the second rule of evidence law? Uh-oh, not this again. Evidence law. Under Rule 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Tell me how... Diamond Gant, tell me how this... is that rag relevant to this trial? Trial. Goodness. It appears the defense was not prepared. I guess it's too early to use this piece of evidence. Please accept my profound apologies, Chief. I'm giving the defense another chance. Well, okay, I'll do it just this once, but only because you asked, Gee. Thank you, I assure you the defense is terribly sorry. Haha. Okay, so it's too early for that. Too early. Tragic. I just want... And that's what I thought I needed, but who knows? Okay, so is it maybe the shower? I still can't believe we're calling this a frickin' jar. You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery, but I'm afraid this claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this jar, for example. That's the blue badger you showed us earlier. A piece of this jar was discovered in your safe. Not only that, but the evidence list I presented earlier was actually found inside your desk. It was found where? You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation. Ha-ha! Ho-ho! Chief Gant, what's the meaning of this? Ho! Here's a defense attorney who's even rival-worthy. So you admit to it, then, that you were involved in the forgery? Who? Diamond Gant? Who, me? Oh, you mean you? Me? Why would I have anything to do with that? Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Wright-o? However, Detective Gumshoe was present at the investigation. Were they, my boy? Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Gumshoe will receive his due punishment. What? Detective Gumshoe surely drops any further than end up paying to work. That's so sad. Gumshoe. Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office, and the relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My. Kids these days are no longer know how to put two and two together. Evidence of forgery. Let's see what it is now, a jar fragment and a list. For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when these pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Doc was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I participate in forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. You do understand that I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Oh. Indeed, I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know. We're a little busy right now. Alright, gee, in return, though. I know. That place, right? Huh? What are these guys, telepathic? Probably known each other for a very long time. Evidence and forgery. You could have planted them in my office. Appreciate it if you stop making these ridiculous allegations. Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that. What? I'll have you know, back in the day, once I broke into a... Right. I broke into a cattle ranch and tipped. Mr. Wright, what are you saying? Anyway, you can't prove you didn't carry in the evidence, can you? If you have proof to the contrary, you're going to need it later. Later? What are you talking about? What else? I'm talking about when Wright's prints are found. Yes, if they're found inside my safe, they would prove his investigation was illegal. Great. I've never faced anyone as slimy as this guy. Anyway, can't prove when those... I think this is the statement that I have to present the cloth, rag, or whatever it's called. What do you mean by that? This is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery. If concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery, I'm not through speaking yet, righto? It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. Okay, if they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation? It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Dark was sentenced. Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient? Right. The Chief is talking about a possibility so long as you can't rule that out. Your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time. Tell me something I don't know. Come now, Wright. Think about it. There's no reason I'd participate in forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out anyway. Alright, how can you look me in the eye and say that? Because I'm innocent. Remember, who was it that murdered Neil? Oh, don't even start. I'm not sure I care for the word murder here, but in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Skye. Thank you, Judge, for being on my side and agree that this guy is being a little bit too, rude. See, now do you see? Okay. Really, Chief Gamp? At the very least, there is one very large benefit you reaped from all this. Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this benefit? That would, of course, be the position you have. Chief of Police. Oh. The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive. He's not wrong. Oh, that's a good one. Huh? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. Is that true, Edgeworth? Yes. He was going to be made chief anyway. Wow. Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might end up being the one pointed at. So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. Which is true. Don't be silly, Walter. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. I think we could tell a while ago. You're a bit of a jerk. There, it's out in the open now. Gee, would you mind if I change my testimony a little? By all means, please do. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me. Anything changed? You just added this. Okay. Nothing in it for you? Sorry, but the only person I truly care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you better think again. You don't say. You've literally just called her a murderer. What are you on about? If I thought you cared about her, I think that literally tarnished her in the first place. You're right, don't feel sorry for anyone. You don't feel sorry for anyone. Yes, he is the worst. And it's just like really sad for the type of personality that he puts for himself. Is really a jerk. And it would be nice you can see why committing a crime as he did is not a problem for him. Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Ho, 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 ho. Ho. That's a good one, Worthy. Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? I don't think so. I don't know. I really do not know. Nothing in it for him. Really? Point out an accomplice. True, you might not help anyone. Oh, okay. I get it now. I get it. I understand now. Yeah, he would only do it for his own benefit. But he would help Lana to disguise Emma's sister's accident and use it against her. That's my guess. 'Cause then he has a puppet that he can put in a high position, and he has no problems. That's my guess. This is me just, like, taking a guess. True, you might not help anyone for their sake, but if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. What? That's not what I mean. Here's a visitor that I really liked. Yeah, it's really good. The first game's really set in stone something very fun. Obviously, I'm only on the first one, but I'll be playing all of them. But yeah, we just have a lot to do, a lot to do. That's what I mean. Very well then, who is this person you believe Chief Gant might have helped forge evidence? The only one that we know who did it? Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky. The defendant? I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Can we not with this image? Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Sky was appointed chief prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant. You can't deny that! But how would he profit from all this? He would be able to use the chief prosecutor as his puppet. Wow, we really have the same mind. Yeah, it was the second option. Alright. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. Do you mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? It's a metaphor, Judge. It's a metaphor. Oh, wait. You must mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind. Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana in the forging evidence. Your motive to appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her. Right, oh my boy, you have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Technically? But I don't think the recording device is a thing that counts because we don't have it in this game. Lana, she's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant. I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing but a mere conjecture. Unless that is also what happened in this incident. This isn't, or which one would that be? Of course I'm talking about, you know, the first thing that we started this whole case with, the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor had been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone had been controlling her. Were they? You better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. By who? Just what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? I love the judge. Order, I said order! Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. Huh? This is an affront to the highest rank officer in our law enforcement agency. Hey, if a detective, and I mean this honestly, if a detective can be allegedly forge evidence, who's to say he can't? He's human. Last time I checked, I would assume he's human. To accuse the chief police of blackmail and murder? That impossible. I don't blame them for being surprised. Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edwards said in his easier to understand language. Alright. Oh boy. It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. Looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with us. And we're along for the ride. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder? Probably. I don't know what, but we'll find out together. Good question. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. I see. Alright then, let's see what Mr. Wright's got. And it better be good. Show us the evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. I don't know. I have no freaking idea. How do I tie it back? Trace from Goodman and Lost Sky, crime wrapped in the muffler, small tag attached. Taken by Star. Big memo found in the truck. Time within an hour and a half before 4 p.m. How the frick am I supposed to prove this? It's like, Evidence from a past case. I don't think that's connected. Okay, that's just a picture. I can't even look at those. I don't know. I have no idea. Years ago removed. 2 years ago, the halberd was removed at the Gant's behest, giving it its current form. I do not know. Oh, this? Is it this? I was like... The only thing I could think, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing. This is the ID card list. Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 7777777. Sorry, but there's no way you could prove that that's my card number. It is your number. What? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. Say this so nonchalantly. 7-digit code. 7 digits. You don't mean... I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 7777777. The same as the remaining ID number on that list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. Ha 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 ha. Now you're sweating now, aren't you, buddy? Oh, I wasn't involved in the crime at all. Then why'd you go into the evidence room on the day of the crime? We can do this. Order. Chief Gant, what do you have to say? Nothing. The defense search of my office was in violation of regulations. And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you. About the use of this ID card. Ha ha ha. Chief Gant, so you admit it? You entered the evidence room? On the day of the crime? What about it? I'm the chief of police, whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom. What's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell me. When you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room. Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he? Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days. You hadn't seen him? In days? Chief Gant. I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt. No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting? In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show me proof that the victim went to meet Gant on the day of the crime. I don't know. I have no idea. Memo found in the truck. Can only be half-written date. Prove went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime. Is it this? I'm not sure. That's the problem. I'm like, is it this? Is it not? I'm not sure. Huh. Do you ever plan on streaming another platform or just YouTube? Well, I don't really know how Twitch works. Those are different rules to play by, so that's a lot of things to think about. So it's just a bunch of, like, I would say probably not. It's probably YouTube, because to me it's the most accessible, it makes the most sense. I don't even want to try to work with OBS to see if it works and not break everything else. But, yeah, I don't know, at least for me, I like YouTube the way it is. Keeping my stuff all on one website feels more convenient than trying to put people onto a different platform. I hope that makes sense. Alright, we're gonna go with this. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it. But yeah, thanks for being understanding. I don't know why I went slightly British there. So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. I can read. He would have to have been given that. He would have had to give that report to the chief of police. Oh, yeah. Yet you are in possession of the report, which means you can't be sure he filed it. He filed it? How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to? Yes, to transfer the evidence down. Oh. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Count. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him? There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on, let me guess what you're going to say next. The chief of police murdered poor Goodman. Exactly. But wait. The chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. You could have just lent him his ID card. Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort. Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. True. No! He went Super Saiyan. Chief Gant, you did it. The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime, for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as the place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course. You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. How did he manage to move it there? I was at the police department the entire day, you know. And everyone's aware that Lana Skye stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. So you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey you, take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. All this time I thought it was useless clue just to take up space. Oh, I know what it is. How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us the evidence. To move the victim's body, Chief can't use this. Here you go. This is how we moved Detective Goodman's body. What's that? Screwdriver? But what does this have to do with this case? Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is the screwdriver doing here? It's here because... I was asked to go, but Chief Gant no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. Alrighty. I'm back. Ready for this. Woohoo! In any case, on the day of the stabbing, I brought this back here. Well, my voice is probably gonna be louder than usual. Woohoo! After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office. But you did, because Chief Gann asked you to. You mean he really used you as a frickin' scapegoat, frick. Chief Gann asked you to. You mean he really used you as a frickin' scapegoat, frick. Okay, just was double checking my voice wasn't too much louder than it was before. The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edwards' car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car. Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edwards' car. Yes, unless of course you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport the evidence from a closed case? There's only one possible explanation. Transport the body to your accomplice, Miss Lana Sky. Woo-woo, we're doing it! Woo-woo! We're getting there! Order, 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 what's going on here? Where'd my mouse go? There it is. There's no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. Just a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Chief Gann, please say something. I believe. Chief Diamond Count, your time is up. My time's up? Sorry, Wright, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're going to make it in time for the early bird special. But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier? Police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that now. What? This is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. So you're going to just run away after all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh, Wally. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you have any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, You think I had planned to dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Demigan is the current chief of police. We're gonna save, because I'm very scared to do this. This court will not tolerate any accusation against him without concrete proof. Objection. Yes, objection. Well, Mr. Wright, Your Honor, do you have any concrete proof? Proof of Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made this guy dispose of his body. Do I have any concrete proof? I'm going to assume yes. I can't let him just squirm his way out of this. Take that. Yep. Boy. Take that. I've got to keep the pressure on. Yes, Your Honor. I do have such evidence. Can you tell me what it is, Wright? I would really like to know. Then please hurry and present it. Remember, you've been approved you again murdered too, but it's beyond a shadow of a doubt. Shadow of a doubt? I don't know, Your Honor. No. Yeah, Your Honor. I don't know, buddy. I'm about as much confused as before. What do I need? Choose again. Let's look at this. You have a choice. Okay. Huh? The knife, I think? I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. I also have a guide here just in case, because I'm like, do I have any evidence? I don't know. Oh boy. Apparently. And I'm gonna say this apparently. I need to say I don't have evidence. What exactly is this evidence? Something. Apparently. And I mean this to just be fair. Apparently, I beat Ace Attorney 1 and 2. Yeah. Apparently it's this. It's no use showing evidence I'm not sure of myself. No, Your Honor, at present, I have no conclusive evidence. See, Udgy? In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for all your obligations against the Chief. What? Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford, righto? Seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Udgy, I'll leave the rest to you. I don't want to deal with this bull crap. This kinda sucks that I have to say, oh, I don't have any evidence. It's frickin' like a place like a show. I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an Outford Senior Officer in our nation's law enforcement agency. Wow! We're safe! Thank you, Edgeworth. We thank you for saving us. Lady Luck. Maybe we should have a word with her. Mr. Edgeworth? What do you mean? There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony. Lady who knows the truth. Another witness. Debbie Gant looks like a Lego head. That's the first time I've heard that one. That's a good one. He kind of just reminds me of like a... kind of like whipped cream or something? Dollops, that's what they're called. He looks like a dollop. In the absence of conclusive evidence, there's only other method of proof is testimony. But Chief Gant has invoked his right to testify. There's still someone else. One more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person? Lol. Yeah, I don't know. He kind of looks like a dollop. I would believe it. Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling the witnesses today. Okay, Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist? Yes, she does. She may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls forth Miss Sky. The defendant? I know who it is. Do you? I think we all know who it is. Miss Sky? Oh! Random things. Okay. She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task is to dispose of the victim's body, in accordance with a certain person's orders. Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. Very well, the court will now take its final recess for the day. I was gonna say, Emma. I don't blame you. It's okay, they're siblings, so you were close enough. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in Hold on. Huh? Chief Gant, I thought you were going to eat. I think we all were. I guess he was just like, wait a moment, I am here. I am here. Don't. Well, we got... Oh, lordy. We have many things left to do. I don't know anything, I just casually scrolled. Chief Gant, I thought you were going to eat. Listen good, Lana. He's talking to Lana. Not like a man. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. Tell me that... There's a judge. Judge, tell me that's not a threat. If that is not a threat, I don't know what it is. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. It was already closed, so they can't take her for trial. This is good. Of course, you'd never support such an outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. Alright then. I've got a lunch date to meet. I guess you could say the chief can't really screw it up. Oh my gosh. Puns. The puns, they follow me everywhere. I've got a lunch date to meet. Okay, I read that. Alright, we got a lot more to read. Ugh. Okay, if there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess. I thought there was only a little bit left. Rise from the ashes for me was hard. It is very difficult. February 25th, 2:04 p.m. District Court. Defendant, lobby number 2. Yeah, I think we all I think this why it's the last trial makes sense. Looks like we managed to stay in the game. Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth. That chief, he's something else, eh, pals? Detective Gumshoe! I'm not a detective anymore. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Don't worry about it, I've already decided where to work now. At your office. My office? Sure. I'll take the place of that top-knot girl you used to work with. Could he mean... Maya? Still, looks like we're all out of moves now. Chief Gant done it again. How is it he always gets the upper hand? It's not fair that he has the right to refuse testimony. Settle down, Wright. I had to look up what to do to figure out this case. Yeah, that's why I have a guide. It's not up all the time. I just have it when I can check it on Chrome to be like, okay, I have no idea what the frick I'm supposed to do. So it's there just in case. Wait, Gumshoe in a dress. Yeah, I think it would happen. I wouldn't be surprised. Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said. But Chief, that's not right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. Come short. Oh boy, we're having puns. The chat has become puns. Risk, what do you mean? What did he mean by that? Simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite is also true. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything, too? You mean he forced his right to say anything, too?
Emma!
Are you okay?
Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery.
So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, sorry for what I said before.
No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved.
Relieved?
Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me.
Mishu. Okay, now that just sounds like a horrible ship. Don't go any further than that. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her. What do you mean? What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside, to force herself to do anything and everything Chief told her to do. That must be why she became so cold. It's not a ship. I'm not saying it is a ship. It's just it ends up sounding that way. I know it's not a ship. I know that's not what he meant. He wears what Maya wears. I think I would love someone to draw Maya wearing Gumshoe's outfit and then Gumshoe wearing Maya's outfit. It would be great. It would be beautiful.
It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall.
Yeah, it would be a beautiful sight. Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal.
Chief Gant might be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor.
I see. Well, we better get back. It's time for the final act. Woo woo! Here we go. I made fun of Gumshoe once. Everyone does. Everyone does. Even Edgeworth does. That is his point. It's sad, but it's true. I actually called him dumb. Okay, now that's just kind of sad. It's okay. He's not dumb. He just doesn't think things through. It's okay. It was one letter off. Well, 2 letters. It was close. Emma, why don't you wait here?
No, I'm going with you. I want to be there when Lana tells the truth.
Let's go, Wright. Salary cutting noises. Yep. Gumshoe looks like he would give the best hugs. Yeah, he would. He seems like a great dad person. Uncle. He just has a horrible luck with relationships, too. Poor guy just does not have a lot of luck. But hey, he does have good friends, so we have to keep that in mind. He does have good friends. Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this. Alright, to be continued right now, because we're finishing it. I'm finishing this darn thing if I can help it. February 25th, 2:21 p.m. District Courtroom number 9. Now then, will the defendant, Miss Lana Skye, please take the stand? Miss Lana Skye, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all I've done these past 2 years. Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Skye. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth. Of course. The truth.
Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister.
Aw. Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant. Like the wise man saying, only real men show their police badges.
Yep.
Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant. Please, Lana. Gant and the fabrication. Okay. I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself.
When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma.
You're lying. Are you sure about this testimony?
Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But Lana...
If this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this. Gumshoe would be the greatest friend you could have. True. He did a lot for Edgeworth. And I think that tells you a lot about him as a person.
That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you gotta help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me.
But what if she's telling the truth?
She's not. I know my own sister.
I smell cap.
Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony.
Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. I can read English. Here we go. I worked on this again for years. I look forward to your next stream. Thank you! How many years has it been?
Since I was made a senior detective. Let's see, I was 24 then, so it would be 5 years.
Detective Gann and Detective Sky were legendary partners. I personally saw them testify in numerous cases. She must have been good coming from the same school as Emma. Mia. Goodness.
Diamond Gann was a respectable detective, that's why.
There's no truth to this blackmail theory. But think about it, Miss Sky. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail.
You still don't get it, do you, Mr. Wright? Any testimony you cannot present in court is as useless as idle gossip. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife.
And fabricated evidence 2 years ago all by myself. Did you do so to help your sister?
Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life.
But what she did was just a viable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything.
That's not the point. She was traumatized that day all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him.
Lana! So that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago? Oh my gosh, too many notifications today. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. Woo! Here we go! You said you did this all by yourself? Will you ever play any horror games, so I may recommend Amnesia? Maybe? Maybe? Amnesia would be something that I don't know if I would feel brave enough to do. I can watch someone play a horror game. I don't know, like, maybe. I will say maybe. I know of Amnesia. There's a lot of... Amnesia is dark. And darkness is definitely... Want to hear a fun fact? Sure. Why not? Tell me a fun fact.
Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body.
What? The prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident.
That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. Reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement.
You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark? Something like that.
If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Drake was carrying a switchblade knife.
It's called Rise from Ashes because Phoenix can live again, and his name's Phoenix Wright. Yes, it makes sense. Yep, it is, and it's a good way to put him on a rise to his career, too. Out of the shadow of Mia.
Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle.
That's not what went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies.
All just to protect me?
When you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything's boiling down to.
Yes.
I broke off the tip of Drake's knife and planted it inside the wound, then moved the body. Okay. You planted the tip of Drake's knife into the body. But why? Why would you do that? I can't. It's starting again. We're going with the stupid Drake. It's dark. You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always been a good head on your shoulders. You always had a good head on your shoulders. I can read. Oh my. My head isn't that bad, but what I ought to ask for the sake of the others. Why did you plant the knife? Why would you do that?
Come on now, Mr. Wright. Even you should be able to figure it out.
Very well, let's add this to the witness testimony. Reason Miss fabricated the knife. Fabricated the knife. I can English. English. Too many things. Okay. So, I knew the tip of the body was bigger, but I don't need proof. Was all the proof. I broke off the tip of Jason and I planted it inside. Okay. Fun. I got a fun fact. Fidel Castro loves. Okay. Why did you do that? Okay, blah blah blah. Why did you move the body? When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body?
That's where you deduced it was by Detective Gant's desk.
But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there?
The reason for it is simple.
Let's have that added. Okay. Pi loves hamburgers. Yes, she does. The piece of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. Pieces of the jar, you mean?
Yes, that rich jar you showed us earlier. In order to show Dar committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body.
So,
when you first found the body, the jar was already, of course it had been shattered to pieces. If you look at the crime, the scene, it would have been clear right away what happened. Neil Marshall was dead and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during their struggle.
I see. What's the matter, Emma?
Apparently the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there's more to it than that.
There must be a contradiction here somewhere. Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. My only motivation was to get Drake convicted. It has nothing to do with them.
Mr. Wright, my sister's lying.
Looks like she's determined to protect you to the end. She insists she fabricated the evidence by herself.
There's no way she would have done it alone.
Gotta get Lana to talk more. If she's lying, then she's bound to slip up and make a contradiction. Okay, I wanted to get to the thing. Pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. We're gonna save. Is it just the jar? Is it just the jar? Yep. Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered? If that truth were to be exposed, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I'm compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony.
A contradiction in my testimony?
You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan."
That's right.
You have a problem with that? It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood.
Yes, the prosecutor must have written in his final moments.
Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not yet have been broken before he died. That was an easy one. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar. Unless he had the time, which would be ridiculous. Order. Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. You may be missing something critical here. Something critical? Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well, the witness may now continue her testimony. Woohoo! Yahoo! Jar and message in blood. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. My gosh, notifications. You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood? I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Drake was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence. Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. Jar and message in blood. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. Okay. So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar? No, if I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces and grounded them to dust. Well, that helps my case. Wow, you do that for me? Seems you two might make up yet. Anyway, I just barely had enough time to move the body as was. If someone had happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry. I was. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came. I think his name is Dark. It is Dark. It's just sometimes I say Drake. I don't know why. My brain just reads it as Drake. But it's Dark. I know it's Joe Dark. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. Alright. I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened. What do you mean? If you really thought Dark killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood. What else could I have done in that situation? Lana? I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. But how could you see with the power-up? It should have been pitch black in the office. A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me. The hard E, Dark. Yeah. It just happens. Joe Darky. Even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go. I never miss anything. I got every last piece. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. More contradictions have surfaced in her testimony. Your sister really putting up a fight. She must really care about you. Still, she's not doing this the right way. I think I finally figured out the contradiction in her testimony. There's one final possibility that might turn everything. I need to push the first and last one. I know it's blood traces. Okay, so the jar was already broken? It's a miracle the thing hadn't broken earlier. It certainly looks as feeble as the defense's case. Thanks, Judge. I'm not as feeble as the judge, but I'm not as feeble as the judge's. But I'm not as feeble as the judge's judgment. You were an ace detective who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you didn't investigate what was written on the job pieces? Normally, I would have. Okay, blah, blah, blah. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. Okay. So you illegally rearranged the crime scene. Yes, I don't have any excuse for my actions. I'm so sorry, Lana. I didn't know. I treated you so badly all this time. It's not too late. There's still plenty of time to make up. After we gotten to the bottom of this incident. No doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the history of the prosecutor's office. Okay, I don't know where we're going for this. Okay. This jar is just apparently important for everything. 2, 3, 4. Joe Dark, more like, oh my gosh. Present the vase. This vase is just... Here's the vase. We might as well just keep the vase. We don't need it in our pocket anymore. Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of. What? We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe. In the Chief's safe? But how? I knew it. She really didn't know. There was something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it. But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them. Oh my gosh. Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gant got there before you. But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece? I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are far too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. That may be, but everyone makes a mistake. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Huh, can you believe that? Judge, have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Oh, I needed water, man. Holy tamales. Oh, that. There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. I hope you're not implying that person was Chief Gant at the time he was looking for Dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he break the jar? The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? No. Okay, please. Wait, I'm not the one on trial here. Devin Gant arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar. And he purposely hid one of the broken pieces. Sorry. Question was why? Fabrication of evidence. But why would Chief Gant do that? In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear? What happened afterwards? Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Spells the name. Yeah, it's Emma. Lending her his aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark. It's gonna happen. I like this one from you. Sparing Emma, and therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Skye became the chief's puppet. No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients. You're smart. It's okay. It's because we had it earlier in the stream. It's fine. Oh boy. Foul lies. Imagine that coming from my own client. I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth. Come on, Judge. We're best buddies. Wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trial? Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Lana may be right after all. What do you mean, Wright? What do you mean, Wright? So did you tell the lies then, Mr. Wright? Miss Skye, please testify once more. But if evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. But
I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall.
Miss Sky, if you will. I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination might not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth.
Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw.
Alright, the witness may testify once more for the final time. Woo! Here we go! Here we go! Here we go! We're almost done! We're almost done with this frickin' case! Actual crime scene.
When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on the suit of armor sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it, but if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent.
I believe it. Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armor sword? You were the only one who saw that. If you only had proof.
Actually, I do have proof.
Alright.
I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning.
What? To me?
It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed.
But I don't remember seeing a picture like that.
Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright, she really does have faith in you.
Is it the frickin' book? Very well, Mr. Wright, please present this picture. I don't remember seeing any pictures from Lana.
Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right?
I seem to remember getting something from her then.
Let's check that evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere.
I'm guessing it's in this. This is me guessing. Oh, there it is. What the? Hey, there's a picture here. Frick.
Oh my. This is the actual crime scene.
No other detective saw the crime scene like this. Because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I rearranged everything. Crime scene photo from the case 2 years ago taken.
Mr. Wright, that picture's cut out from his vest, could it be?
The cloth we found inside Chief Gant's safe. Wait, is it? Yeah, it's cut. What's this? It's Emma's hand.
This is a handprint, isn't it? That cloth. It has fingerprints on it. Whoever's fingerprints those are must be the real murderer.
Oh no. What? But those fingerprints... they're yours, Emma.
Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright?
Because he's scared. As I am scared. Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer. Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. Actual crime scene. I'm terrified. When I arrived, I found Marshall's body. Oh, hello. I didn't even get a say. Come now, Uji. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Chief Gant. What? Now you want me to make out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined to testify. That means you've forfeited your right to make statements of any sort. Not him again. Yep, he's back. Ha 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 ha. This must be that risk we talked about earlier. Just sit back and relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your neck. Goodbye. So what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't, but someone does. Someone? Oh no, not me. So, what's your excuse, Wright? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is this true, Mr. Wright? Oh boy. I gotta drink water. But I show that piece of evidence now. Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer. Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now. And if you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. What do I do now? Better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? No. The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall? Cannot show evidence. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. What? You lie! Chief Gann, you opened my safe. I know you took what was inside. The conclusive evidence. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together.
Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Gant? Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest. Notice something odd about the chest area. It looks like a part of it has been cut out for some reason. You mean you had this in your safe? What? That means you, the chief of police, have been concealing evidence? This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. Haha. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Wrightle. Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. What? You mean you admit it? Admit to it? Final battle. I was the first person to arrive at the scene of the crime that day. It was then occurred to me that I could use this situation to control Lana.
So you really were manipulating her?
I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, that when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid. So you assisted Miss Sky. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted. When I tampered with the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. That was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you. 2 pieces of evidence. You mean those 2 items in your safe. But why? For insurance. Of course. Insurance? I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I was about to let anyone blame me for a murder that a girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead? While forging the evidence? What do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jaw fragment? I hit the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces. But if you fabricate all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jaw too? Hoo 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 hoo. Some people just don't know what to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean the piece of cloth? Come on, Wright, don't cough it up already. I know you have it.
What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright?
So you admit to it then, Chief Camp? That you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe? Yes, I admit it. I don't want to have to do that, being a chief, no. But it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer. We're almost there. 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 Well, Wright, what do you have to say to yourself? For yourself. Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, Wright. You should have shown it then, before it was too late. It's been a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. Ugh. Here we go. Fine. Show evidence. Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now. Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. I don't want to, but I have to. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest. Oh yes! At last you finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth. Your Honor, the prosecution requests that it be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather. There must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly. You mean, it could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence. You're slow on the uptick as ever, Worthy. What? Think about it. Wright has all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? You already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that?
Mr. Wright, do you really know?
Yes, I do. Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? Very well. I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. The person to whom these fingerprints belong to is... Emma. Emma Skye.
What? They're mine?
Sorry, Emma.
But why? Why didn't you tell me?
What do you think? Ho 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 ho! You're really something, Righto. You knew this girl did it all along, and yet you still tried to pin the murder on me. So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death. How could you? How, you monster! Miss Skye, you knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't. Miss Skye, it's not over yet. What? I said this trial isn't over yet. Ha, but I'm afraid it's over, boy. Not only his trial, but your career, too. You purposely concealed this as conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter? Can't cut your tongue. Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer? Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh, and what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gant, you're absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? Who killed Neil Marshall, who, you ask? It was Emma Skye, wasn't it? Nope. I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about? I'm talking about a contradiction, one that proves who the real killer is. We're almost free! We're almost free! Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth, what could it possibly contradict? Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. Lana's picture? Oh. Lana's picture. What does it contradict? I don't understand. Apparently it's this. And what exactly is this supposed to be? I know. This is the picture Miss Guy took. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of his vest was cut out? Yes. Yes, his shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though. Oh, blood! Oh, there's no blood on it. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs, no doubt, were punctured. Blood pouring out of his mouth. Oh, but that piece of cloth has not a hint. Wait, there's no blood on it. Since Emma Sky's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time. No, this is nonsense. Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground when he was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could have it been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Lana Sky, picked up the unconscious prosecutor, and impaled him on the armorer's sword? Setting Lego Man to jail. We're almost there. Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with that victim's blood. A jar that was then broken on purpose to leave behind a clue, and make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest. Ironic, isn't it? Though the very act of creating assurance, you prove that you were the actual murderer. No! It's finally all over. That was close, Wright. You almost had me. Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute all your allegations. What do you mean, you refute his allegations? You see that piece of cloth? It's illegal evidence. Order, order. What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, earlier, right here, you can see that piece of cloth. Then what's your excuse, right? Okay, I'm not reading this. Well, that's true. Defense did refuse to present the evidence. At that moment, the piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence.
But that's not fair.
Did you actually think you could best be caught? Looks like the last laughs on you, son. Oh, my neck is killing me. We're almost here. I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, true. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that evidence is indeed illegal. Well, Mr. Wright? But it seems, at last, the time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Mr. Wright, do you admit it? That you purposely and illegally concealed this piece of glass? I did not. I admit, I refused to present it at one point. Aha, so the evidence is illegal. No. No, it isn't, Mr. Gant. Huh? It's not that I didn't present the evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean, you couldn't? There's a certain procedure involved when presenting evidence. No, but you don't listen to his lies. He's nothing but a coward. You can't really believe... There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not? Very well, let us settle this once and for all. Today's stream is pretty fun. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. We're almost there. We're almost there. Earlier you refused to present the evidence. If you can prove your conduct and was not in violation of law, then do so now. Give me Podolsky. This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this piece of cloth evidence myself, inside your safe. Goes without saying, I did not approval from the police department. Rule 2, unregistered evidence must be relevant to the case on trial. And here's the crux of the matter. You see, at the time, it was impossible for me to prove that relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident. What kind of nonsense is this? You watch relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and... Sorry, but can you recall when was that picture presented? That was shown only a few moments ago. No. He's right. The beginning of today's trial. That piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. Let me verify this, blah blah blah. No! It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before the prosecutor's marshal in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer. And there is only one person who could who that could be. Diamond Gant, the killer was you. Boy. Wow. I knew I should have gotten rid of him. The good-for-nothing scum. 2 years he's been snooping around the department, trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insists on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Starr, then convicts Bruce Goodman. Detective Goodman? Ooh. Yeah, that's right. If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Please, you gotta help me. Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. You're gonna hate next episode's witness. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. I will say, once we get the not guilty thing, I'm ending, and we'll probably read the rest of it tomorrow. Because, yeah. Then all of a sudden, he decided to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman? Could you please reopen the investigation, Chief? You can't transfer the evidence out. There's too many questions left unanswered. He opened his evidence locker and he was taking the evidence out. He said, "It's not too late. I'm going to hand all of this over to Marshall." He was a good person. But to be honest, I was a bit taken back by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up SL9. That's when I saw that accursed knife. just pull it out. Doing so would have only led more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. Alright. Yeah, this might be a weird way to end the stream, but that's probably where I'm going to end it for today. My throat is dying. Like, literally dying. Yeah, he became the Joker. But, yeah, I'm gonna end it here for now. And tomorrow I'll finish it a little bit. And then we're gonna be playing, it's gonna be a shorter stream because obviously that, but then we're playing something a little bit afterwards. So, it'll be interesting. So, thank you for watching the stream. And I will see you next time!